this week. MashaAllah, Alhamdulillah, now we have our great Syed.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Syed.
So,
Hayyakallah.
the brother, I just want to clarify one point. The brother said that Abu Bakr was a friend of the Prophet before he received revelation. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's a fact. That's true.
Okay. So the first verse that was revealed to the Holy Prophet. Stay here, don't go, because then you're going to say you didn't hear me. Stay here, brother.
Hearing.
Okay. So the first verse that was revealed in the Holy Quran was read in the name of your Lord who created you, and then a few verses later was the verse of warning. The verse of warning was what? In chapter 26 verse 214, and warn your nearest of kin. The Prophet then gathered his family members and told them that he was a prophet. At that time, Abu Bakr was still a mushrik. And this was not the first verse that was revealed, brother. This was literally like the 5th or 6th verse. So you just said he was the friend of the Prophet prior to first revelation. First revelation, I'm talking about 5th revelation here. Do you know when the verse of warning was revealed?
What verse?
Chapter 26. Chapter 26, verse 214, when the Prophet announced his prophethood only to his family members, nobody else, his uncles, and Imam Ali alayhi salam, and they were in the house, and the Prophet said, I am the messenger of God. Who amongst you will support me and accept me as a messenger? This was not the first verse, this was the 4th or 5th verse. Now, Abu Bakr at this time was a mushrik.
I believe that the first verses that were given to the Prophet ﷺ were chapter 96, verse 1 through 5.
Yes, I'm not saying that this is the first verse. I'm saying to you the first verse was Iqra bi'ismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. I agree with you there.
That's the first verse.
What I'm saying is not the first verse, but if you keep going to like the 5th or the 6th verse, it was this verse, 26:214. And in there, the Prophet invited his family to Islam, and Abu Bakr at that time was a mushrik. He was worshipping idols. He accepted Islam after this verse was revealed. But you said they were friends prior. So was the Prophet friends with a mushrik Abu Bakr then?
Okay, before Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was revealed the Quran, obviously anyone can worship anything because they were lost. Clearly, even Prophet Muhammad was obviously he wasn't lost, but some people were lost. Just because people were lost and other companions at that time that became companions were lost.
Well, his uncle was doing it.
No, I'm not saying why was Abu Bakr a mushrik.
No, but you say his family and stuff like that. His uncle was a mushrik.
Yeah, but brother, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it was a problem that Abu Bakr was a mushrik.
So he did talk to Hamza.
Yeah, but my question is what though?
Good friends, even if he was.
Okay, but my question was what?
No, but your question is flawed, brother.
It's not flawed because the user just said that Abu Bakr and the Prophet were friends prior to revelation, yes?
Because
they was.
Okay, show me how.
His uncle was his uncle.
Their age difference. Yanni, their age difference was only 2 years. He was only 2 years younger than the Prophet ﷺ. They were both from the same tribe in Quraysh.
I know they were from the same tribe in Quraysh. I'm not disputing anything that you're saying, brother. I'm actually agreeing with you. What I'm asking you is, can you show me that the Prophet was a friend of a mushrik Abu Bakr? That's all I'm asking.
I can show you many stories. Even after him accepting Islam, they were
not
friends.
after. I'm not talking about after. I'm not talking about after. I'm talking about prior. Because you said he was friends with the Prophet before revelation came. So that's 40 years of the Prophet's lifespan. Show me he was his friend in those 40 years, please.
You're the one that's making the claim, so you would have to say...
No, you made the claim. You made the claim, brother. You said Abu Bakr was friends with the Prophet prior to revelation. Did you not say that?
I gave you a hadith, brother.
When? You haven't given me any hadith.
But I did. Okay, 3656, right? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says that if I were to choose a friend closer to me besides Allah, it would have been Abu Bakr.
Okay, so that means he didn't choose Abu Bakr as a friend because he said, if I were to choose a friend, right? So that means Abu Bakr isn't a friend. This verse... Yeah, if I was, exactly. It's a hypothetical situation,
no,
user.
It's not a hypothetical.
I mean, hold on one second, bro. Hold on. I'm not gonna talk to both people at the same time. You hold on. Let me finish with you. Let me finish with user. Let me finish with
no,
user and then you can come, okay?
talk
User,
to me.
no, I'm addressing you. So you just gave me a quote from a Sunni book where the Prophet said, if I was to take a friend, I would take Abu Bakr. Again, this is a hypothetical situation, right? It's not saying that the Prophet took him as a friend. My question is, you need to show me evidence that Abu Bakr and the Prophet were friends prior to the first revelation when the Prophet was 40. Sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. This hadith doesn't work. This hadith says, if I was to take a friend, but he didn't take him as a friend. Because at the pact of brotherhood, he said, Ya Ali anta akhi fi dunya wal akhirah. And he paired Abu Bakr up with someone else. So this doesn't work. So I'm going to ask you one more time. Show me that the Prophet and Abu Bakr were friends prior to revelation. That was your claim.
Also, Abu Bakr was never an idol worshipper, brother.
Yes, he was. Abu Bakr was a mushrik for most of his life. But don't change topics. We can address Abu Bakr's worshipping idols. We can address that. But don't jump. Don't jump to that when I'm asking you something else. Okay, I can see you're using Google and ChatGPT, but hurry up. Give me the evidence that the Prophet and Abu Bakr were friends prior to revelation, and then we can discuss whether Abu Bakr was a mushrik or not. Because you Sunnis yourself admit that the only Sahabi that never worshipped an idol was Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, which is why when you say his name, you say Karamallahu Wajh. His face is blessed. Why is his face blessed? Because he never worshipped idols. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, they were mushrikeen. But I'm not going to let him jump to the topic of whether Abu Bakr was a mushrik or not, right? I'm not going to jump because he has to first prove his first claim. His claim was these guys were friends.
Reported by Ibn Hashak, when the Prophet revealed the revelation to Abu Bakr didn't hesitate and accept Islam because he said he knew the Prophet before the revelation. And
yeah, everybody knows the Prophet, bro. Everybody knows him. He's a man in Makkah. Everyone knows him. Even his enemies called him a Sadiq and al-Amin. I'm not saying did Abu Bakr know the Prophet. Of course he knew. Abu Jahl knew the Prophet. Abu Sufyan and Abu Lahab knew the Prophet. Your claim was friendship prior to revelation. So your first evidence didn't work because it was a hypothetical. Your second evidence is Abu Bakr knew the Prophet. Okay, good for him. Where's the friendship?
Even to play devil's advocate, right? Even, let's just say hypothetically, right? Hypothetically, you were right and they weren't friends before the revelation. Why do you care about before the revelation?
Because you said it. Because you made the claim. Brother, had you not made the claim, I'm
playing devil's advocate.
Brother, had you not made the claim, I promise you I would not have addressed that point and I would have gone straight on to something else.
No, you're so fixated on.
Yes, I'm fixated it because you made the claim. Either take back your claim or show me evidence for your claim. That's all I'm saying.
Go for it.
Not Sahaba,
That's
brother.
why
Just the
he's doing it.
Munafiqeen, not Sahaba.
I can see now you are not sincere.
Not Sahaba, just Munafiqeen, brother. Not Sahaba. Where did he go?
He left.
That's fine. So he did it, Umar. User, again, I need you to show me the friendship. Now, I'm not saying that it's my claim. You made the claim. So you either take back your words, brother, listen, brother. Either you take back your words and we can move on to the next discussion, or you give me proof.
I gave you I'm giving you the
No, you
proof.
haven't. You've given me two hadiths that don't even say friend.
I'm not giving you more than two. I don't have
You've
to.
given me two hadiths that don't even give any reference. The first one is a hypothetical situation.
I gave you two.
The first one was a hypothetical. User, it was hypothetical.
Bro, Syed, let's go to the next subject, and I want to ask
No,
you.
I want you to conclude this subject first. No, I'm not going to let you jump, bro. You guys jump too much. I'm not going to let you jump.
No, we're not jumping. Just
You are jumping because you said they were friends before revelation. I asked for proof.
Syed is cooking you. Are you praising another man instead of Allah? Subhanallah.
No, I am saying to you, give me the proof that they were friends as you claimed. You can't because your first evidence was the Prophet said, if I was to take a friend. So that means he never took him as a friend. It was an if. It's a hypothetical rejected. Your second one was Abu Bakr knew the Prophet. Yeah, well, so did Abu Lahab. So did Abu Jahl. Were they friends with the Prophet?
I understand.
Exactly. So let's conclude this point. You lied. You got no proof. Let's move on.